Howdy folks, let's make hummus. It's good stuff. I'm going to start out with a couple lemons. These little guys over here. And we will definitely want the zest off of these. Give us this and salsa are pretty much the only two things that I use my food processor for, but I tell you what, it's worth every penny to get one just for these two things. I'm gonna go, let's do this first. Let's go ahead. Roll that up, get some juice out of it. Kind of softens a little bit. These are good, nice, fresh lemons. From the Shepherdsville Kroger, can you believe it? Shepherdsville Kroger used to be pretty gank, if that's even a word, but they've expanded. There's a Walmart coming into town, and I think they're nervous. So they've expanded and kind of upped their game in general. The produce seems to be a little bit better. So thank you Walmart for making Kroger realize they're not the only game in town anymore. We'll get all this zest off of here real quick. This is where all the real lemon flavor is, for sure. It makes a huge difference. If you don't do this, you're kind of missing out. Well, if you just use the juice, I mean the juice is great, but this is 50 times. It's just more intense. Knife. Alright, let's see how this thing does with the little pulp extractor in there. Usually I'll use in this recipe I use 4 cans of garbanzo beans, and I've seen recipes that say use two cans of garbanzo beans and a lemon, so I figured since we're using 4, we'll use 2 lemons. And this thing, I tell you what, I like this little guy. That is a juice extracting SOB. This is a pretty simple recipe, so I guess, yeah, we'll go that way. Oh yeah, 0 seeds, awesome. You want a bit of garlic. Some people might say, why do you use this jarred garlic instead of fresh? First of all, I'm lazy, and second of all, for whatever reason, that's maybe a little bit more. Second of all, it seems like every time I buy a clove of garlic, it goes bad. I just don't really care for that. Take a sip of my Bloody Mary. Too good. Alright, so next up, we're going to take these guys. And what I usually do, I've seen recipes where they say drain them all and then use a cup of water. What I usually do is I drain 3 of them and leave the juice in one and put it straight in there. Oh, and then before I do this, I'm going to put some parsley in here the way without spilling my drink. Alright. I'll use most of this, not all of it. I like that. I don't know if this is totally traditional. Any hummus I've ever seen in a restaurant doesn't have parsley in it, but I've seen recipes that say use parsley, and that's what I've always done. And I like it that way. Kind of gives it a little, for lack of a better term, kind of a green flavor. Where is that? Lovely. Alright, I'm going to put this back in the doggone it. Some kind of retard. Where's my, what's that? Oh, it's my jalapeno. Oh, what the hell. You can't find a bag to put it in, just use it all. Screw it. Not gonna hurt a thing. Alright, so let's put this first. Can of garbanzos in here. Some people would say rinse them. I don't. I'm a rebel that way. Alright, and we'll drain the rest of these. Alright. Next step is tahini. It is sesame seed paste. It's pretty, you can use, it kind of tastes like peanut butter with kind of a, I guess you might say a bitter aftertaste. You wouldn't want to put it on your peanut butter and jelly. You gotta stir it up because it settles. Whoops, and I always do that. Spill the oil over the side like a goof. Gotta stir it pretty good, and it gets kind of thick down at the bottom. I'm gonna dredge all that up and give it a good stir. You can use peanut butter in a pinch. I've done it before when I was out of tahini. And didn't feel like driving back up to Kroger. And it's this jar. I think a jar like this is about $7, somewhere around there. It's not super duper cheap, but as I say, it's definitely vital if you're wanting to go pretty authentic. Definitely a bitter, kind of a bitter peanut butter taste. I'm going to use about that much of this. That's close enough. Maybe a little more. Oh. Alright. Lovely. Get a paper towel here. Alright, so that's tahini. Then we'll turn this on. Oh, I'm going to add my salt now. We're going to use a good spoonful of salt, maybe even a little bit more. This is kosher salt. I like kosher salt. Every cooking show you watch, they all use kosher salt or sea salt as opposed to regular old Morton's. Once you get used to it, you'd never go back. Number one, you're able to pinch it and give it a good, so you can measure it with your fingers rather than have it poured in your hand. You just can't do that with the the regular granulated salt. Plus, as dumb as it sounds, it tastes saltier to me than regular iodized salt. So Believe what you will. All right, we're gonna waz this stuff up, and this barely fits, but it fits. Alright, now, the last step is olive oil. Lots of olive oil. And now's not the time for the cheap stuff, because this is of course raw. There's no, you don't cook hummus. So it's not gonna, this is gonna be straight up, and you're gonna taste all the flavors in it, so you might as well get a good one. I've honestly never used this one, but it was in a cool bottle, so I said, what the heck. We're going to use quite a bit. I mean, that's a 16.9 ounce bottle. I'm probably going to use every bit of half of that. Maybe a little less. We'll see. So, about that much. So what you end up with, that's way up there. Hopefully this is already salted well. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, perfect. No doubt. Oh, mighty good. Mighty good. So this, I'm going to use pita bread. And that was the only pita bread that I could find at our lovely Shepherdsville Kroger. What I normally do is take that, put it on a baking sheet, 400 degrees for about 10 minutes, just whole, and then when they come out, stack them up, and maybe cut those in quarters, and then you're off to the races. That's a good one, right? That's it. See you.